Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new edition of our online interview series. We want to get an update from Calibre Mining, Nicaragua's largest gold producer, and Ryan King is here with us. Good morning to Canada. How are you, Ryan?
Excellent. I'm very good, Johan. How are you?
Hey, perfect. Thank you very much. It feels great to be a grandpa, I can tell you.
Yeah. Exciting time for you.
It's
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's super. I love it. And great to see you in good shape. And well, your company is also in fantastic shape. I must say, since March, your company or did already almost 40% profits, which is now a little bit gone off because of the weaker gold price, because of the Fed funds and the Fed rates pausing. But anyhow, investors are satisfied. I'm also one of those investors, and I really like it. And I think we should talk about the Q1
Hmm.
first of all before we go a little bit more into detail.
Sure.
So it looks to me like production is up. That all looks great. You made a net income of $16 million, 4 cents per share. And also, what is the cost situation?
Well, I mean, you said it right. I mean, it's a very exciting time for Calibre. If you look at the company's history since we acquired these initial producing assets in Central America, we've grown from what we thought was 50 to 70,000 ounces a year of production out of one of the operations. And we've now changed the operating strategy, as we all know, quite significantly. And we're utilizing the two processing plants, and then we're bringing on new satellite deposits. And last year we permitted two new satellite deposits. Our Pavon Central high-grade open pit, it's over 6 grams per ton gold in the reserves. And then we also permitted the Eastern Borosi project that, again, also over 6 grams per ton gold. So very exciting for us to be able to permit those assets. And this year, we've been bringing those assets into production. So going through all of the work we need to get them into production, i.e. road building, on-site infrastructure, etc., and then hauling that material down to the process plants. And that's what helps set Calibre apart from our peers, is that we have this installed processing plant capacity, right? We don't have huge capital costs to build tailings facilities or brand new process plants. And so we've been not only executing and delivering on that front, i.e. bringing on new satellites to increase gold production, but we've also been acquiring land around the country and looking for new opportunities for exploration and upside growth, because we've got 1,000,000 tons of surplus capacity. So Q1, a record production quarter for us. We're setting ourselves up this year for another record full year. Last year, we produced 221,000 ounces of gold. This year, as you know, we're guiding 250,000 to 275,000, and we're on track. Things are going very well. Production quarter over quarter should increase throughout this year because we just brought on Eastern Borosi in the second quarter. You've seen some news releases come out that we started mining at Eastern Borosi on time, on budget. We started to haul material down to our process plant just a couple of weeks ago. So the year is unfolding as we had anticipated in our original budgets.
Super. Yeah, if you have already talked now about Eastern Borosi and you answered a lot of my questions already, which is great. But I must say, on 10th May, which is just one day after my birthday, you brought out at Eastern Borosi Mine Complex fantastic drill results. I mean, that was like 13 grams over 8.5 meters. Yeah, you had 10.6 grams over 7 meters, 7 grams gold over 5 meters. I think this highlights also, first of all, the quality, but this is also much, much higher than your reserve grade there, right?
Yeah, now, I mean, it is, you're right. I mean, these are individual intercepts. So the sum of the parts will become a larger base, likely lower grade material. But the key here is that we're finding more material in and around our Eastern Borosi open pit project. Okay. There's multiple low sulfidation epithermal veins. So these are the similar mineralogy that we're filling or we're hauling material down to our Libertad or Limon facility, right? So this is a blending operation whereby we get similar metallurgical recoveries, right? And we're finding more. So we acquired a 1% NSR that was on the property that we had the right to purchase from Triple Flag. The property is a 176 square kilometer land package. and we continuously are finding new areas. So I'm optimistic that we will replace and increase our reserves over last year. And it's been an exciting trajectory if you look at our reserve replacement and growth over the last number of years, because when we acquired these assets, there was roughly 270, 280,000 ounces of reserves on our properties in Central America. We've mined 550,000 ounces since taking over the assets, but we're sitting at a base of 1.1 million ounces of gold at the highest grade they've ever been, at 5.4 grams per ton gold. So it's a very
Super.
exciting opportunity for us to continue to invest in, and we're self-funding, right? You just made mention of it. Strong quarter, strong operating income. We're self-funding all of our growth, all of our exploration. So it's a great place for us to be in. We've got about $60 million of cash on the balance sheet, and I would anticipate, as we see these metal prices, we're 1950, 1900 in that range, very robust gold price. We'll be able to significantly add cash to our balance sheet after all investments. So it's a great place for us to be.
Yeah, and I think you also have no debt, right?
We've got a little bit of debt now. We're working with a business partner in country to help increase the size and expand their mining fleet and haulage fleet so that we can expand our business as well. So working with a local business contractor to expand their business.
Yeah, but this is not higher than your $60 million
Oh
cash.
yeah, this is sub $20 million of debt. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
which
net,
which we're
you have no
working with
debt.
them on, and they're working with us
Yeah,
to facilitate or make payments or help make payments on that facility
super.
through operating
Okay,
costs.
so exactly, but it means no net debt. This is
Correct.
important for me. It's
Oh,
all
correct.
covered. Super. How is it going with the Libertad Mill? Because Pamon Central Mine is ahead of schedule. Yeah, you brought that out on 15th March, you said, and the Libertad Mill is now averaging the 1,000 tons per day at approximately 7.4, let's call it 7 grams gold per ton. That was in February
Yeah.
already. But how is that going? How long can this sustain? What's the plan here? Because I think that's a beautiful source of income.
Yeah, no, I mean this is the unique opportunity that we have is the total at Libertad is 2.2, 2.3 million tons of available processing capacity. Limon is about 0.5 million tons or 500,000 tons of processing capacity. So between the two, we've got about 2.7 million tons of processing capacity in the country. So that's why we're looking at all the different satellite opportunities to haul material to either one of those facilities. Right now, Limon is fully utilized 100%. Excess material from Limon goes over to Libertad, about 1,000 to 1,200 tons per day. Pavon, we had been mining about 3.5, 3 grams per ton gold from Pavon Norte, right? But this year we brought on Pavon Central, and the reserve grade there is 6.5 grams per ton gold. We saw 7 grams in February, so that will undulate a little bit throughout the year, but averaging around reserve grade, I think, is reasonable to expect. But 1,000 tons a day, we're on track. That's going well. And then Eastern Borosi is the newest one that we've just been talking about. We start slowly and gradually ramp up that haulage rate. So Eastern Borosi, we're starting at about 250 tons a day. Reserve grade there is 6.8 grams per ton gold from the open pit.
Beautiful.
And we
Open pit,
anticipate
that's important.
it's important. It is important. But we would anticipate to slowly ramp that haulage rate up to our Libertad facility. But keep in mind that, with Eastern Borosi, with Libertad feed, we've got an open pit and underground at Libertad. With the Limon feed all feeding into the Libertad facility, we still will have 1 million tons of processing capacity for additional organic growth. Hence the reason why we've been picking up new concessions. We've been exploring new areas to look at ways to utilize that processing capacity, right? And because we have been successful discovering, but then also delineating, and from basically discovery or resource through to plant is taking us about 18 months in most cases. And a very rigorous process of environmental reviews, full EIAs, and there's a strong mining legislation there. So I think our team has done a very good job. They're very transparent in what they do. And we've been successful in delivering on time, on budget permits and then feed into either one of those plants.
Super. Before we switch to the US, I would love to have a comment on the Talavera deposit, because I think this is like a, let's call it a new discovery. It's a past producing mine
Yep.
within the Limon mine complex, only 3 kilometers away from the processing plant. That sounds really interesting to me, because you had also like 10 grams gold over 4 meters. You had like 18 grams over 5.7 meters. That is outstanding. Yeah. Even also 4 grams almost at 2.5 meter. Fantastic. Yeah,
No,
that
it's
is super.
You're right. I mean, it is it. You know, if we step back and we look at Limon, the district of Limon, I mean, it's about 300 square kilometer land package. We've got the open pits. We've got multiple underground deposits. You know, the Pavon Norte last year was a discovery. About 250,000 ounces in that reserve base now at Pavon Norte, or sorry, at Pantheon Norte, at 9.4 grams per ton gold. So that was discovered last year and delineated through to reserves last year. And we're drilling along that corridor. And Limon has produced over 3.5 million ounces of gold over decades of operations. It's got between past production and current reserve resource, it's got about a 5 million ounce endowment, but we're still, as you just mentioned, finding more gold there. Talavera is another one of these targets and opportunities that we revisited. You know, as you said, it was a past producing mine. Produced back in the 90s, produced about 800,000 ounces of gold at about 8 grams per ton gold. I don't know all the history there, but the team went back and reviewed all of the data and noticed a lot of open-ended opportunities, open-ended structures that hadn't been followed up on. And so, you know, as you've seen, our first 20 holes into the extension to the southwest, we're finding more gold mineralization and, as you've seen, good economic grades and widths. So we're trying to understand it a little better. It's quite structurally complex. So we've got some new technology working, what's called a televiewer, going down and taking a look at the orientation of some of the vein systems, and then we'll be following up on some more drilling at Talavera later this year. So exciting opportunity for, as you just mentioned, great
Super.
grades, great widths, and another target on the property outside of the ones that we've been talking about over
And
the last 2 years.
and very close to the processing plant. So that means
Indeed.
fast fast delivery, no CO2 emissions almost, or nearly no, nothing, and you save a lot of time and money. That's what I like. Yeah,
Correct.
let's move. Let's move to the US shortly. The Pan Mine, you acquired the Pan Mine and also Gold Eagle. So what's going on with the Pan Mine? I think you had a high grade gold discovery, not a high grade, sorry, a new discovery here at the Pan Mine. Also, you are exploring. Before we
Correct.
move to Gold Eagle, please. So what's going on with the Pan Mine? What is the cost situation there? Are you happy how things are going?
Yeah, Penn, a great jurisdiction. We all know that Nevada, as
That's for
rated by
sure.
the Fraser Institute, is one of the number one mining
Yeah.
jurisdictions on the planet. And that's part of the reason why we went after these assets and acquired them and closed the deal in January of 2022. What we saw when we acquired these assets were a good, well-run, smaller heap leach mine that we believed had potential to expand mine life. Last year, we replaced reserves and increased reserves 23%. So starting to see the benefits of reinvesting back into the asset as well as gold rock. But sticking with Pan for a moment, as you just mentioned, at the end of last year, we discovered this new, what we call the Coyote target, 3 kilometers to the south of the Pan operation. This follows strong alteration at surface, and it follows a different structure splay off of the main Brenham fault where the team found this. There's only a couple of holes into this. The first hole I think was 13 meters of 1.2, 1.3 grams per ton gold, and you said high grade there, and I agree with you. The average reserve grade at Pan is zero point 0.4 grams per ton gold. Our all-in sustaining cost this year is around 1,400. But we're starting to see some evidence of higher grade material near surface on the property, on the whole property package. So stay tuned, because we've had 2 rigs drilling to the south of the open pit and along this trend. I would imagine it's 2, 3, 4 weeks away before we have a set of results coming out from Nevada. But
Okay.
as I said, we've had 2 rigs operating there. We didn't start drilling until later this year. There was heavy snowfall this year in Nevada. And so I believe we began drilling in March. So still lots of news flow to come. Pretty encouraged about the opportunity there. We've got a new VP of geology in Nevada. His name is John Jury. He came in, reviewed the opportunity. He's worked in Nevada for many, many, many years. Worked with Newmont, worked with Barrick, has been involved in numerous discoveries in Nevada. And he's very encouraged by what he sees in terms of the exploration potential, the right plumbing, as they say, the right structure and opportunities with alteration on surface that gives us an indication that, hey, there's a really good opportunity here to extend mine life and possibly look at future benefits of increasing production at the operation.
Super, perfect. So all is in good shape and full on track.
And the great, as I say, I keep reminding folks of this, and this is really important, all self-funded through operations, right? We're not only self-funding our exploration and our growth, we're adding cash to the balance sheet on a quarterly basis at these metal prices. It's great.
Super.
It's very fortunate to be here.
Yeah, what I see as a joker in your portfolio is the Golden Eagle property in the Washington state. And I find this really interesting because you have already 2 million ounces there, but you showed 3 grams gold over 87 meters and 3.7 grams gold over 48 meters. That is a lot, I would say. So you are doing, great drills on the one hand, and on the other hand, you commenced a detailed metallurgical program.
Yep.
So how is that going? Can you comment on that already? How do you see Golden Eagle? I mean, on the one hand, I would say it's maybe something which you could sell because you have interesting neighbors. On the other hand, you could say, why not? Let's develop.
Exactly. No, that's the right. I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head, Johan. I mean, we stepped back and there had not been, again, this was part of the Fiore transaction we did and closed last year. And there hadn't been much work on the property for a number of years. So, we lifted the hood, looked at the opportunity a little bit closer, recognizing that, as you said, some of our partners in the area, not partners, but I guess neighbors, Kinross, Hecla, and others, there's an operation that is on care and maintenance today, a past producing mill, past producing mine. We understand that they've had some good success drilling in that district, Kinross has. And so will be interesting to see how that evolves. But then also with the inclusion of some of the recent drill results we've had, the 2 million ounces there, and the metallurgical program that we're advancing, we're taking a longer term view, right, as you do, and advancing this process and advancing the project systematically. But 2 million ounces in Washington, I think, is a hidden gem within our portfolio that gets really no value. And henceforth, why we're taking our time, really understanding it, slowly advancing it. This next step to understand the metallurgical recoveries that would come with this project, looking at different grind sizes, et cetera, to see what this could look like, is the right next step. If we can come up with an appropriate process, then we would decide how to move the project forward, even to the next step. And as you just said, with the neighbors in the area with operations currently on care and maintenance, maybe there's opportunities there. We don't know that yet, but it would present an opportunity given it's 2 million ounces and it was a past producing district.
Super. Ryan, that was a great update. Thank you very much. I have a good feeling that we talk quite soon. And I said that already several times this week in the interviews because there's so much going on with you guys. That is fantastic. And keep it going. Keep us updated. Thank you very much and all the best.
Always good to be here. Appreciate the time. Thanks, Johan.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ryan King, Senior Vice President Corporate Development of Calibre Mining. And the company is fully on track. I'm a shareholder of the company. And honestly, we have done our research and our analysis. We have a first price target of 2.5 Canadian dollars up to 3 Canadian dollars. We are very positive on the company because we like the fact they have no net debt. They are growing. They are replacing their mined reserves, and also they are bringing those reserves further up. They have a lot of optionality with Golden Eagle, but also with the Pan Mine, with the new discoveries. And also in Nicaragua, things are going extremely well. And please don't forget, most of that is really open pit. So this is fantastic with grades like 5, 6, 7 grams gold per ton. This is outstanding. This is real margin. And honestly, I think the gold price will go soon much, much higher. And you can imagine what happens then with this share price. So check it out. Make sure you get some Calibre Mining. Thanks for watching us, and bye bye from Switzerland.